There is a corner in your home, quiet, tucked away, a space you pass by every day without really seeing it. In that corner leans a broom. Its bristles are a little frayed, the handle slightly worn. Maybe it's been resting there for weeks, maybe even months. You think nothing of it. It's just a broom after all. A simple tool for sweeping away dust. What harm could it possibly do? But what if I told you, every time you place that broom in the wrong spot, you may be sweeping away something else entirely? Not just dirt, but ease, peace, opportunity. What if that corner has been slowly collecting not just dust, but heaviness in your life? It sounds strange, even a little superstitious. But listen closely. In the quiet traditions passed down through generations, the broom is not just an object of cleanliness. It is an energy conductor, a remover, a releaser. And when you leave it in a place meant for gathering, for welcoming, or for nourishing, it doesn't just lie still. It speaks, not with words, but with weight. The kind you feel in your chest at night, when the house is silent but your thoughts are loud. The kind that makes money slip through your fingers. That leaves the door open for arguments, fatigue, or that strange sense that something is off, even when everything looks okay. No one teaches us this growing up. We're told to clean, to keep things neat. But no one says, be mindful where the tools of clearing rest. Because if the act of sweeping carries energy, then so does the pause that follows it. And the place where that broom waits matters more than you know. So before you tidy again, before you pick up that familiar broom and move about the house like it's just another morning, I want you to ask yourself something. What am I really sweeping away? And where have I been letting it settle? In today's reflection, I'll show you the one place you should never leave your broom. A seemingly harmless choice that could be quietly draining your fortune, your clarity, your peace. We'll look deeply, gently, into how to restore harmony, not just in your home, but in the soft spaces of your daily life. Because healing begins with what we see, and what we've stopped seeing long ago. 1. When the broom sits in the living room, warmth begins to fade. The living room is often called the heart of the home. It's where laughter lingers after tea has cooled, where your hands once folded laundry while watching the afternoon light slip across the floor, where children played and guests sat, and quiet evenings wrapped themselves around soft cushions and deeper thoughts. It's a space of gathering, not just for people, but for energy. It holds the memory of conversations, the echo of joy, the comfort of silence. And like any heart, it needs to stay open, unobstructed, and gently tended. But sometimes, without meaning to, we place something there that doesn't belong. A broom. It leans quietly in the corner, maybe tucked behind a chair, maybe resting near the television or under a window. You might not even notice it anymore. It's become part of the background, practical, harmless, ordinary. But energy doesn't ignore what we overlook. In the soft wisdom of traditional Feng Shui, the broom is not just for removing crumbs or collecting dust. It is a symbol of movement, of pushing away. Every sweep carries intent, even when unconscious. The broom is meant to release, not to linger in places meant for holding. And when we place it in the living room, we allow the energy of rejection to settle right at the center of connection. You may feel it as subtle disconnection, conversations that lose their warmth, a heaviness in the air that makes you want to retreat instead of rest, guests who never seem to stay long, a vague feeling of emotional clutter, even when everything looks tidy. It doesn't announce itself like chaos, but it lingers like fog. Why? Because the living room is not a place for endings, it's a place for presence. When we put a tool of dismissal, a broom, in this space, we quietly declare that something should leave, even if we don't know what. It sends a signal to your home. This place is not settled. Something here needs to be cleared. And over time, that signal becomes a pattern, one of instability, of disconnection. Elders in many cultures understood this without needing words. That's why in old Vietnamese homes, brooms were never left in the central area. After sweeping, they were placed out of sight, behind the kitchen, under the stairs, or hung carefully in a dry corner. The heart of the home was left clear, undisturbed. But in modern life, we often choose convenience. We tuck the broom wherever it fits. We don't notice the shift in atmosphere until we do, until the room feels colder somehow, until laughter feels thinner, until we sit down and realize we're surrounded by things but not always by warmth. It's not superstition, it's sensitivity. Your home responds to placement just as your body responds to touch. Imagine this: you're having tea with a friend. The conversation is warm, the air soft. But just behind you, a broom rests upright, bristles bent, worn from use. You don't see it, but you feel it. Like a whisper in the background that says, something here is unfinished, something must be swept away. Your mind cannot fully settle, your heart cannot fully open. That's what a misplaced broom does, not violently, but persistently. So what can you do? The answer is beautifully simple. Move it. Find a spot that feels quieter. Behind a door, inside a cabinet, near your cleaning supplies, not near your comfort space. Let the living room breathe again. Once you move it, take a soft cloth, dampen it with warm water and a slice of fresh ginger. Wipe the surface where the broom stood, not because it's dirty, but because it held tension. Then open a window just a little. Let the air carry out what doesn't belong. And then pause, sit down. Notice the change in the room. Notice the way light feels more generous, how your breath feels longer. Notice the warmth returning, not from the heater, but from within. This is the gift of awareness, the healing that begins not from grand gestures, but from noticing the quiet disruptions. From saying, "You don't belong here, little broom," I thank you, but I release you to where you can rest without disturbing peace. Every object holds a presence, every room has a tone. And when you align them with care, your home becomes not just clean, but clear. So next time you finish sweeping, don't just drop the broom wherever it lands. Give it a proper place, and give your living room back its stillness. Because in a space where people gather, where hearts meet, where stories unfold, nothing should linger that carries the energy of goodbye. 2 brooms in the bathroom, turning cleanliness into stagnation. There's a kind of silence in the bathroom that's different from any other room. It's not the silence of rest like the bedroom, nor the echo of gathering like the living room. It's the hush of release, of things being let go, washed away, sent quietly into the drains. And that's precisely why it's not the place for something that holds on. A broom, by its nature, is a collector. Each time it brushes across your floors, it gathers what no longer serves you: dust, hair, scraps of forgotten moments. It's a gentle but powerful tool of removal. But once the sweeping is done, the energy it has absorbed doesn't simply disappear. The broom carries it, and where you leave it next matters more than most people realize. Many keep their broom in the bathroom. It seems logical, it's where we clean after all. It's out of the way. It feels harmless. But energy isn't practical. It's intuitive. And intuitively, placing a broom in the bathroom is like trying to breathe deeply in a room with no windows. Bathrooms are already dense with what Feng Shui calls yin energy, the kind associated with heaviness, stillness, and release. Water drains, flushing sounds, dampness, all speak the language of letting go. That's why we feel lighter after a warm shower or clearer after simply washing our face. These are little rituals of renewal. But when you introduce a broom, a keeper of what should have been cleared, into that space, something subtle but important changes. Instead of letting energy flow away, the room starts to recycle it. Think of it like this. Imagine wearing freshly washed clothes, but wrapping yourself in a damp towel used yesterday. You're technically clean, but emotionally something feels off. Not quite fresh, not quite right. That's what happens when a broom sits in the bathroom. It soaks up not just moisture, but stagnation. The kind of unseen heaviness that doesn't announce itself, but lives quietly in the corners, then spreads. You might start to notice it not as clutter, but as a fog in your mind. Forgetfulness, a short temper, moments of sadness without clear reason. Mornings where you wake up tired even after a full night's sleep, and often you won't trace it back to the broom. Why would you? It's such a small thing. But energy isn't loud, it whispers. And when we ignore its whispers, it speaks through how we feel, how we move, how we connect or disconnect from our daily lives. So what can you do? First, forgive yourself. This is not about shame. No one taught us that the placement of a cleaning tool could affect the atmosphere of a room. We grew up learning to scrub surfaces, not to listen to space. Now, gently take the broom out of the bathroom. Hold it in your hands. Notice its weight, not just physical, but symbolic. Say, even silently, "You've helped me clear, now I will help you rest." Choose a new place. We'll talk about ideal spots later, but for now, anywhere but the bathroom is a better start. Then tend to the room. You don't need to buy anything fancy. Just take a bowl of warm water. Add a pinch of salt, a few dried licorice roots, or even a drop of lemon juice. These are cleansing elements in many traditions, soft agents of balance. Wipe the bathroom floor, not harshly, but like you're gently smoothing out a tired face. Light a candle even for 5 minutes. Let flame replace fog. Let scent replace weight. And if there's a mirror, clean it last, slowly. As if you're wiping away not just steam, but self-doubt. Because the bathroom is where we meet ourselves again and again. It deserves clarity. It deserves to breathe. And so do you. In many traditional Vietnamese homes, brooms were never kept in the bathroom. Even if space was small, even if there was nowhere else. Elders would rather hang it behind the back door than let it rest near the place where water speaks. Why? Because they knew that water is memory, and a broom is burden. When placed together in the same room, they tangle. The act of release becomes muddled. The body may let go, but the space holds on. So perhaps today is the day to gently untangle what's been coiled too tightly in your home. And maybe, in doing so, something inside you loosens too. Your energy is precious. Your space reflects it. Even the most ordinary room deserves to be a place of peace, not a storage for silent weight. So move the broom, clear the floor, open a window if you can, and when the air begins to shift, whisper to yourself, "Today I release what no longer belongs, not just from my house, but from my spirit." 3. By the door when the broom blocks good fortune. The front door of your home is more than wood, hinges, and a lock. It is a threshold, a meeting place between two worlds, the outer and the inner. It is the breath your home takes when someone steps in, and the sigh it releases when something leaves. In ancient beliefs, the doorway is sacred, not because it is ornate, but because it is symbolic. It is where opportunity arrives, where fortune knocks, where connection begins. So what happens when you leave a broom there, not by mistake, just casually, out of habit? Leant gently against the wall, tucked behind a shoe rack, or resting beside a doormat. At first, nothing seems unusual. The broom is quiet, familiar, it doesn't speak. But energy listens, and energy responds, in the soft principles of Feng Shui and in many old Southeast Asian traditions. The front door is seen as the mouth of Kai, the opening through which life force energy enters. It's the welcome mat not just for guests, but for luck, joy, inspiration, and breath itself. When a broom, a symbol of pushing away, of sweeping out, of removing, is placed near this entryway, the home begins to whisper no to everything it actually needs. Imagine this: a guest arrives. She stands at your door holding flowers, a soft smile on her lips. But just behind her, at the edge of her vision, she notices a broom, upright, bristles splayed like a sentry saying, "Not today." She may still enter, but something in her softens, a hesitation, a pause, and it's not just people who pause, opportunities do too. Energy that arrives to bless, jobs, ideas, money, warmth, feels that silent resistance. It senses a space that says, "We are still trying to clear," rather than, "We are ready to receive." It's subtle but powerful. Have you ever felt that even when good things come, they don't stay? That happiness passes quickly? That your days begin with tension you can't explain? Perhaps, just perhaps, the entrance has been sending a mixed message. A broom by the door is not a welcome. It is a boundary, not protective, but rejecting, and we often don't notice it. We're focused on being tidy, on convenience. We come home tired, slip off our shoes, lean the broom nearby. We think, it's just for now. But just for now becomes weeks, and weeks become a weight. You might start to feel a strange heaviness every time you step inside. Not loud, but real. Like your shoulders slump just slightly at the doorway. Like a sigh you didn't know you carried. It's not your mood. It's not the weather. It's the signal your space is sending. In Vietnamese spiritual culture, as well as many indigenous traditions, people used to place light at the entrance, not brooms. They lit oil lamps, hung wind chimes, placed a pot of basil or a bowl of clear water. Each item a silent message. This home is open. This heart is ready. So how can you begin to shift that message? Start small. Today, go to your front door. Look at it not as a frame, but as a face. What expression does it wear? If the broom is there, move it. Don't toss it aside. Do it mindfully. Thank it as you would thank a friend who helped you clean. Then place it somewhere away from the flow of welcome. We'll explore those ideal places soon. Next, tend to the space. Wipe down the doorknob. Sweep the threshold, not to remove dirt, but to refresh energy. If you have a plant, place it nearby. Something green, alive, even a single leaf in a glass jar will do. If there's room, add a small light, a lantern, a candle in the evenings, not for show, but for soul. And then open the door, let air in. Let sound in. Let life in. Stand there just for a moment on that edge between out and in. Breathe. Feel the difference when the broom is no longer present. Feel how your body stands taller, how your home exhales. It doesn't take rituals or incense to shift energy. Sometimes it just takes respect. Respect for the places where life enters. Because every time you open your front door, you are inviting something. Let that something feel welcomed. Let it stay, and most of all, let it bless. Because you deserve a home that receives joy, not resists it. You deserve mornings that begin with ease, evenings that end with gratitude. And that begins with the most overlooked place of all, the door. So the next time you see a broom standing guard at your threshold, remember, a home that constantly pushes away may forget how to let anything in. And the smallest change, moving a quiet object, making space for grace, might just be the very shift your life has been waiting for. 4. In the kitchen, when meals lose their warm energy. There's something sacred about the kitchen, not because of what it holds, but because of what it gives. A bowl of rice still steaming, a kettle humming gently before the first sip of tea, the scent of cinnamon in the air, the clinking of spoons and the low rhythm of chopping. These are not just tasks. They are quiet love letters sent from one heart to another. The kitchen is not only where food is made. It's where warmth is woven into the day. And that's why what we place in this space matters deeply. Among the most common yet most disruptive items to appear in a kitchen is the broom. It's understandable. Crumbs fall, oil spills. We want to keep things clean, so we leave the broom in the corner, tucked beside the fridge or behind the pantry door, close enough to grab. Convenient. But the energy of convenience is not the same as the energy of care. A broom, though essential, is a remover, a gatherer of discards. It carries the memory of what was unwanted. Dust, hair, dirt, forgotten corners. It may not look like much, but it holds a frequency of clearing, of pushing away. And the kitchen is a place of retaining, sustaining, nourishing. The two energies, though useful in their own way, are not meant to live together. When a broom is placed in the kitchen, something shifts, subtly, but certainly. You might notice it first not in the room, but in yourself. Perhaps the meal doesn't taste quite as full. Perhaps your appetite softens. Perhaps you feel distracted while cooking, or a strange anxiety while standing near the stove. You forget ingredients. You cook more but feel less satisfied. None of this feels like the broom's doing. After all, it's silent, leaning politely in its place. But energy doesn't need sound, it only needs space. And a kitchen that holds a symbol of discarding right next to the act of creating becomes energetically confused. The warmth of a meal begins to cool before it ever reaches the plate. This isn't about superstition. It's about sensory memory, emotional intuition. The kitchen holds so much of our emotion. When you cook, you're not just preparing food, you're preparing an atmosphere, a mood, a tone. The way you stir the soup, the way you arrange the table, all of it carries meaning. So when a broom sits nearby, even if unused, it sends out a subtle message. Something doesn't belong here. Something needs to go. And that message doesn't just affect the air, it affects the person preparing the meal. You might feel like you're rushing even when there's no reason to. You might feel like you're feeding others but not yourself. That's not just tiredness. That's energy imbalance. So what can we do? Start by observing, walk into your kitchen, let your eyes soften, don't scan like you're cleaning, just look like you're listening. Does anything feel restless, out of place? Does something interrupt the calm? If the broom is there, acknowledge it, don't blame it. It has served you well, but it has done its part. Now it needs to rest where it cannot interfere. Remove it gently. As if you're lifting something heavy, because energetically you are. Place it in a space we'll discuss later, away from the pulse of your home. Then return to your kitchen empty-handed. Notice the shift. You may want to cleanse the area, not with bleach, but with intention. Take a bowl of warm water and add a few slices of fresh citrus. Lemon, orange, or even just a pinch of salt. Wipe the surfaces slowly. As if you're waking up a space that forgot how to breathe. Then light a candle, just for a few minutes, and prepare something small, tea, toast, a bowl of warm soup. Do it not because you're hungry, but because the kitchen is ready again to give. In this newly cleared space, food becomes more than sustenance. It becomes presence. And presence is the ingredient most often missing from modern meals. One last thought. If your broom has been living in the kitchen for a long time, the shift won't happen overnight. You may need to reintroduce softness over days. Not with effort, but with little gestures. A cloth folded neatly by the sink. A sprig of rosemary or basil in a jar. A bowl of uncooked rice resting silently in a corner, absorbing unwanted tension. These are your way of saying, this is a place of warmth again. I choose to keep it that way. Because the kitchen, at its essence, is not just where you feed the body. It's where you nourish the day. And no matter how clean a floor might be, if warmth is lost in the process, something far more important is being swept away. So let the broom rest somewhere else. Let your kitchen return to its real purpose, a place where care is cooked into every meal, and where the soul is gently fed, one quiet moment at a time. 5. Facing the front door, blocking new beginnings. Every home has a direction it faces, a place where it meets the world. The front door is not just an entrance, it is your home's way of saying hello. It's the first breath in after a long day. It's the space where newness arrives, packages, guests, sunlight, morning air, and sometimes the very opportunities life wants to offer you. That's why the space directly opposite your front door holds quiet power. It's where energy first travels, where attention lands the moment the door opens. It's your home's welcome field. If this path is clear, energy flows in naturally. If it's blocked, something beautiful may hesitate. Something hopeful may turn away. Now imagine this. You step into your home and the first thing you or anyone else sees is a broom. It might be resting against the far wall, leaning silently by a shoe rack, or standing in a corner forgotten. It doesn't shout, it doesn't move, but its message is loud. I'm here to sweep things out. And what a strange thing to say to the world. At the very moment it's trying to bring something in. Because a broom, as we've seen, is a remover. It gathers the old, the unwanted. It pushes away. And when it sits directly in line with the main door, the path of beginnings, it interferes with more than appearance. It shifts the invitation. Instead of saying, "Come in," your space whispers, "Leave." Even if you don't notice it right away, your body often does. Maybe you come home and feel a subtle tightness in your chest. Maybe your thoughts feel a little more rushed, your mood slightly unsettled. Maybe it feels harder to enter your own space fully, as if something holds you at the threshold. These are not coincidences. Your nervous system reads your environment before your mind has time to explain it. The presence of a broom, something associated with rejection and release, immediately at the entry path can send your energy the wrong signal. And that signal echoes. You might find it hard to start new projects. You may feel unmotivated in the morning, or experience a strange sense of limbo, where nothing quite begins, nothing quite moves forward. It's not that life isn't offering you new beginnings. It's that something is standing in the way, quietly but consistently. And it's not always about bad luck. Often, it's about misalignment. When the space for welcome is filled with the energy of dismissal, life doesn't push back. It simply waits, or redirects, or pauses at the doorway and chooses not to knock. But here's the beauty. This can change with one gentle choice. Start with a breath, a real one, then walk to your front door, open it, and step just inside. Let your eyes move slowly to the spot directly opposite. What do you see? What do you feel? If there's a broom, or even clutter that feels like a broom's cousin, remove it. Clear that pathway. Let it be simple, open, uninterrupted. Wipe the floor with intention. You don't need to speak out loud, but inside you can say, "This is where good things come in. I choose to welcome them." Then, if you wish, place something soft in that space. Not heavy furniture, not storage bins, something that breathes, a potted plant, a small rug in warm color, a lantern. A low bench with a folded shawl, something that says, "This home opens its arms." And over time, you may notice the shift. A letter arrives with good news. A guest stays a little longer. You feel lighter crossing your own threshold. Why? Because the energy has been allowed to flow forward, not deflected, not turned back. From an energetic perspective, every beginning starts at the door. But from a healing perspective, every new chapter starts with permission. By removing the broom from that vital space, you're not just rearranging objects. You're rearranging your openness. You're choosing in a small and powerful way to stop pushing away what might actually bless you. One final thought. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to get it all right. You just need to pay attention. And if you notice that your doorway has become a place of confusion, too many things, too many mixed signals, just breathe. Simplify. Let space return, because sometimes all life needs is a little more room to come in. Don't let a broom be the first thing the world sees when it meets your home. Let it see your readiness, your welcome, your hope. And in return, the world might just step inside, bringing with it everything you've been waiting for. 6. Where should the broom truly belong? After all the places we've explored, the living room that holds your memories, the bathroom that lets things go, the kitchen where warmth is made, and the doorway where life meets you. Perhaps now you're asking, then where should I keep it? Where can this quiet tool of clearing finally rest without disturbing the peace? The answer isn't grand. It isn't wrapped in ritual or adorned in tradition. It's simple, practical, but it requires one thing: intention, because in truth, it's never just about where the broom is kept. It's about what you believe you're allowed to release and how gently you allow that release to happen. So let's begin. 1. Somewhere quiet behind you, not before you. The broom belongs in a place that does not carry the weight of daily emotion. Think of it like this. If your living room is your heart, your kitchen your warmth, and your front door your breath, then your broom should not stand in any of those. Instead, consider the back of your home, a hallway, a service area, a space behind the scenes. Why? Because the broom's energy is backward moving. It carries the memory of what has been removed. And like all things that hold the past, it deserves to rest where it won't interrupt the present. When placed toward the back of your home, the broom becomes part of the natural flow of release. It joins the spaces that already let things go: laundry, trash, old boxes, used cloths. In that environment, it blends, not just visually, but energetically. And more importantly, it stops interfering with the places where new life unfolds. You may feel it as a shift in your breath, a sense of calm that returns to the rooms you love, an ease you didn't know had gone missing. 2. Inside a closed storage, let the energy sleep. If you have a small storage room, a closet, or even a cabinet where cleaning supplies are kept, this is ideal, because the broom doesn't need to be seen. It doesn't need to stand like a silent guest in the middle of your daily life. It only needs to rest and wait until it's needed again. When you place it in a closed space, especially one designed for utility, you create a gentle boundary. It's as if you're saying, "You've done your job, thank you, now sleep." And the broom, if it could speak, would likely sigh in relief. You see, even objects carry energy signatures. A broom left out in the open continues to emit that signature. Sweep away, sweep away. But a broom stored with care becomes neutral. Quiet, unobtrusive, it no longer influences the room, it simply waits peacefully. 3. A covered outdoor space, but only if sheltered. If your home has a balcony, small porch, or covered corner that's protected from direct sunlight and harsh wind, this can also be a suitable spot. Many people who live in small apartments feel they have nowhere else to put their broom, and so they keep it visible. But a tucked-away balcony corner can be transformed. Hang the broom upright, let it stay dry. Shield it from gusts that might stir up dust again. You can even place a small mat or basket underneath, just enough to hold the energy still. The key here is containment. You are not hiding the broom out of shame. You are giving it a gentle boundary, and that changes everything. Now, before you move your broom to its new home, consider this, a small cleansing gesture. The broom has served you. It has touched every room, every floorboard, every quiet corner. It has gathered what you no longer needed. So before you store it, clean it. Shake it gently. Run your fingers through the bristles. Wipe the handle with a soft cloth and warm water. If you like, add a drop of essential oil, something clean and light. Eucalyptus, lavender, lemon, not because the broom demands it, but because your relationship with your space deserves it. You're not just clearing dust, you're acknowledging effort. You're saying, "Thank you, I'm ready for something lighter now." Final, and now the sweeping is done. Not just the act of cleaning, but the noticing, the choosing, the shifting of something small that was never really about dust or corners, but about breath, flow, and peace. Maybe you've already moved your broom, or maybe it's still there waiting for your hand. It doesn't matter, because the most important movement has already begun inside. You've started to look differently, to feel space again, to question what once felt too ordinary to question. And that is the beginning of healing. We often think healing arrives in the big moments, in loud tears or radiant joy. But it also comes in the quietest gestures, in the pause before placing something down, in the way we enter a room and feel what it carries, in how we listen to the walls, the windows, the way light falls on the floor at dusk. This is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming aware. It's about remembering that your home is not just where you live, it's where your energy rests. And every object, every placement, every routine either adds weight or lifts it. Now, with the broom where it belongs, notice what has returned. The warmth of the kitchen, the softness of the living room, the openness of the door, the quiet invitation at the heart of your home. It's as if the house has exhaled, and so have you. Maybe tonight the air feels clearer. Maybe tomorrow the morning light will look a little gentler as it spills across the clean floor. Not because something miraculous happened, but because you created the space for it. That's what healing truly is, creating space for peace, for presence, for something new. So as you prepare for rest or for whatever comes next, I leave you with just one question, soft, simple, and yours to carry. If moving one small thing brought back this much light, what else in your life is ready to be placed where it truly belongs? Good night, gentle heart. Let the house be still. Let you be still. And let whatever is meant to come in find the door open.